Welcome to a Return to Oneness. My name is Eddie, and I help people open their hearts. Welcome to the series, And the Truth Shall Set Us Free. This episode is titled, The Meaning of Awakening. Most course students often ask, what does it mean to awaken? What are we being told? And here is what I generally answer them. Let's look at the word awaken. To awaken comes from the verb to awake. And the word awake literally was created from the Old English word a plus wake. A being a prefix, not, wake, dead. Not dead. So what is the meaning of awakening? It means to be not dead. It means to be alive, to be in life, to be in life eternal. It means to be in eternity, not in time. Yet to truly understand what is meant by awakening, we have to look at its opposite, which is death. For if you understand what death is in terms of its energy, then you can understand what to be awake, to be alive, to be in life really means. As I have shared in these videos in the past, I teach A Course in Miracles, A Course of Love, The Way of Mastery, and The Return to Oneness. And today, I'm going to pull from A Return to Oneness. Death, as you think of it, is not real. Period. Case closed. But what is death if it is not what you think it is? To the body-mind, the answer will not be understood. But to the heart, the answer is one that is welcomed. For the answer is but a simple reminder of what it has always known. Like everything else, the world has taught you what it believes death to be. That death is simply the cessation of life. It even teaches that death is natural. Yet, every teaching around death that the world offers involves the passing of form. This description, given by the world, even uses the word death when describing the end of a star's life. As we have already stated, everything that enters time must exit time. And this exit of time is referred to as death, just as the entering into time is referred to as birth. Regardless, the world's definition of death has nothing to do with the intention of the word. For the energy signature of death is so much more than what the world believes. Like the energy signatures of other words that we have pointed to, the energy pattern of death is bound to its meaning. Although you believe that the meaning of death is that of the cessation of life, the word death really carries the meaning of a cause of ruin. Remember that the law of cause and effect simply states, for every cause, there is a simultaneous effect created. Therefore, death is the cause, and ruin is the effect. But what is the energy signature of ruin? It too is found in its meaning. For the word ruin means a falling down. Here is where the intention has been buried deep within the subconscious and is unknown on the conscious level, the level experienced in physicality. For the word ruin is what is being described in what is referred to as the fall of man. Furthermore, the word fall is where the deeper implication is hidden. The word fall means to stray or detour. In A Course in Miracles, it is written, these related distortions, the splitting of the mind, represents a picture of what actually occurred in the separation or the detour into fear. Thus, the intention or the energy signature of ruin is fear. Recall, thoughts are the causal agents, feelings are their effects. Therefore, the thought of death creates the feeling of fear. In other words, death is the detour into fear. Recognize the energy signature of death is fear. Thus, the thought of death and its associated fear creates within the mind the belief that it is not God. And this belief is the energy emitted by the mind, which serves but to create experiences that strengthen the mind's belief that it is not God. The time has come for you to recognize the havoc that the belief of not God has created. And this havoc is the conflict you experience both internally and externally. Come now to see and feel what the belief of not God really is. What is not God in the easiest terms for which the mind can accept? It is but this: not God is a state of being. And since the belief that you are not God is created from a thought of death and its feeling, which is but fear, then you can also see that death and fear is a state of being as well. And the mind can only perceive and experience what it believes to be its state of being. This then is what you would call the take-home message. For as long as you continue to believe that not God is your state of being, then under the laws of God, you will continue to experience the state of being not God. When it finally dawns within your mind that the state of being not God is nothing but denial and resistance against your true self of being, then the light will have finally returned because it has been welcomed once again. Therefore, the belief that you are in a state of being not God is nothing more than the opposition towards your true state of being, which is God. This opposition or resistance to truth results in what is called duality. And duality is the gift you have given yourself in the belief that your state of being is not God. Conflict is the gift, the experience created by the belief in duality. And this belief arose when it seemed possible within the mind that believed itself to be not God, that God could have an opposite. Yet your heart knows not of duality or opposites. It only knows truth, that only God is real. But to the mind, opposites seem to exist, always offering a choice between two things. The heart recognizes There are no choices to make, for the heart knows only of love. Now is the time to recognize that the experiences you have are the gifts you but give yourself. Not only is this in accordance with the spiritual law of love, it is also in accordance with the spiritual law of giving and receiving. For these two laws work hand in hand. Where the law of love states, whatever you give another, you but gift unto yourself, the law of giving and receiving simply states, what is given is received, and is increased unto he that gives. Feel these laws, for they do not work against you, but with you. They only appear to work against the mind held sway by its belief that it is not God. Once you remember the laws and their function within creation, you will have gratitude for them, the gratitude that you have always had. But how exactly do these laws determine your experiences? In order for this part of our discussion to be fully understood, recall that the law of being states, to give is to have, and to have is to be. Therefore, to believe that your current state of being is not God is to be not God. And to be not God is to have the belief that you are not God. In accordance with the law of being, to have the belief that you are not God means that you can only give not God. As a result of giving not God, in accordance with the law of giving and receiving, you can only receive not God in return. The receiving of not God is what you call your experiences. In other words, your experiences are the gifts you receive as the result of giving not God. To a mind in rebellion, this is utter nonsense. However, it is the way it works. But in order for there to be healing within a mind beset with false ideas regarding itself, this discussion must be felt, while no thought is given to it. For thinking is what brought you here. Yet it is feeling instead of thinking that will allow you to experience your freedom. We have used the term not God frequently in our discussion with you. But what does not God mean? For by feeling what not God is, only then will you be able to choose again. And from your choice to remember what you are in truth, you will be able to create experiences that reflect heaven rather than hell. While it may seem that not God is as all-encompassing as God is, not God is not eternal, infinite, or without limitations. For the kingdom of not God is a kingdom rife with war and conflict, plagued by scarcity and lack, and beleaguered by suffering, misery, loss, and death. This is the kingdom you created and fight daily to save. But why do you fight so hard to save that which is the antithesis of heaven? The answer lies in your belief of who and what you are. We have stated that you believe that you are not God. Therefore, not God is what you believe is your state of being. However, the implication of this belief runs even deeper than what you might think or feel. For it is found in every experience you have ever had. Your belief in your state of being has become one that you never question. You have accepted it completely, and you have become thoroughly identified with it. There is no shred of doubt left in your mind about your identity with regards to your current state of being. In fact, You are proud of it. Why is this? Because in your belief system, this state of beingness is viewed as the pinnacle of evolutionary development. Do you yet recognize the energy signature with regards to your believed current state of being? For it is the energy signature, the energy pattern associated with one who believes that he is a human being. Yes, you believe that you are a human being. Therefore, your current state of being is a human being. This then is why every experience you have ever had reflects or mirrors back unto you that you are a human being, fraught with all the pitfalls that has plagued humanity since its inception. Feel the implication of what we are relating to you. Feel it to the depth of your being. For to believe that you are a human being means that you are a not God being. O child of God, you are so much more than what you currently believe you are. For in your denial of your divine self, you could only identify as not God, or as that of being completely human. And to identify completely as a human being is to identify completely with death and fear. They are the same. While your mind sees them differently, the energy signature is the same, for it is the energy signature of a being who believes he is not God. Recognize that with your complete identification as a human being, you are bound by time and all of its effects. Furthermore, in accordance with the law of belief, because you have become completely identified with the belief that you are a human being, you can but see and experience being human. And everything you see and experience does nothing but strengthen this belief, making it more difficult to release. This is the underlying belief for which all other beliefs hinge. There are many students who have studied the curriculum and thought that it was in the complete identification with and as a body which created the suffering experience. While the body is the final act in the misidentification of yourself, the underlying belief in being human is the one which allows for the identification as a body. There are those who will read this discussion and promptly determine that what they are reading is both arrogant and blasphemous. To those who believe as such, we but ask, which is more arrogant, to believe that you are what you have told yourself, or that you are as God created you to be? For only one is deceptive, while the other one is truth. And we also ask, which is blasphemous, to tell God what you are, or to believe in that which he has revealed unto you of your true nature? To the naysayers, we but point to another biblical passage. It is written in the Bible that the man called Jesus said, I and my Father are one. Then the Jews took up stones again to stone him. Jesus answered them, many good works have I shown you of my Father. For which of those works do ye stone me? The Jews answered him, saying, for a good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, and because that thou, being a man, makest thyself God. Jesus answered them, is it not written in your law, I said, ye are gods? If he call them gods, unto whom the word of God came, and the scripture cannot be broken. There it is written for all to see, feel, and experience. But doubt clouds the minds of those who are tormented by guilt and fear to such an extent that they cannot look upon the truth, save they be struck down. For they believe themselves to have committed such egregious offenses that to believe such a thing is blasphemous indeed. Do you not yet recognize that you, nearly 2,000 years after the recording of this event, still have the same conversation with yourself? And the conversation has not changed one iota, that you, being a man, make yourself God. Herein lies the crux of the problem, and it is found in the words, you being a man. Although you have been told, even by the Christ himself, that you are God's, you still cling to the belief that you are just human. And then you wonder why nothing truly seems to change in your life, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you struggle. For it always appears that you are one step behind where you would like to be. But this need not be. We ask of you now, why do you continue to cling to a belief regarding yourself that isn't true? What does this belief offer you that heaven itself seems not to have? Are you so attached to the idea of being a human being that the truth of your divinity has no value? These are the questions you must ask yourself. They are the ones you must answer. However, while it appears that 3 questions were asked of you, they really are the same. For they but ask, are you ready to return to your natural state of being? Death is not as the world has taught, for it isn't the cessation of life. Death is merely the belief, as well as the experience created by that belief, that you are not what you are in truth. It is nothing more than believing that you are not God. It is the long-held belief that you are a human being and nothing more. Yet, with this one belief, born of the original judgment levied against yourself, you have made of heaven hell. And the war between what you are and what you are not continues to rage within the mind. Oh, holy brothers and sisters, the war is over. Your rebirth into truth is upon you. Your divine self but awaits your awakening. Do not cling to death one moment longer. Why experience hell when but heaven calls you home? Always remember, while hell is of your making, heaven is your birthright, given to you by the author of love. As we can see in the return to oneness, death is the denial of life. Death is not God. Life is God. In order to awaken, in order to be not dead, which means to be life, we must accept what we are in truth. And we begin doing that by accepting that there is only one truth which is forever true. There is only God. When we believe that we're nothing but a human being, then we believe that we are born and die, born and die, born and die ad nauseum. The cycle just keeps going. It isn't until we stop and we question in humility, what's wrong with this picture? There has to be something wrong with this. And it is when we turn within that we begin to recognize the truth. That the light of the truth is always and has always been within us. Then we can make the choice to awaken, to come back into life, to come out of death. So what does it mean to awaken? It means to be what you are in truth, to stop denying it. to welcome once again who and what you are, to recognize, to welcome, and to live as the image and likeness of the one, of God, to be the Christ, to be the very manifestation of God itself. That is awakening. That is life. That is everything. There's death and life, but one is not real. Death is not real because life, like God, like love, has no opposite. It is a false belief, a false narrative that we have bought into. And we work hard to make it appear real. The time has come for us to stop. The time has come for us to live what we are in truth, to live in the oneness of God, to exclaim and to declare, just as Jesus the Christ did, I and the Father are one. There is no separation. There is no difference. There is only equality. And then it is to see all of creation for what it is. Love, God, peace. Now we can live. But we must put down the false belief of what we are. And that is up to each one of us. I cannot do it for you, and nor can you do it for me. We must do it for ourselves. And then we can extend our hand and help another do it for themselves. And when enough of us have awakened, when enough of us have come into the truth, have come into life eternal, then we will have changed the world. And we will bring heaven, that which is within, to the world, into the external. We can do this. But we must get past our false beliefs. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. And always remember, you are loved. You are lovable. You are loving. You are the holy, perfect extension of the one, of God. You are that love. Thank you.